So we've just worked on the home page and responsiveness. So now we're gonna take a bit of a turn and go back to the backend and work on the authentication middleware, and then we're gonna go and activate the account, forget password and receipt password. And the reason I've done it now because it's gonna be necessary, and the authentication middleware is simply gonna verify. And when you log in, we send the token. Okay, we're gonna take that token and verify who you are and that you are logged in. So and the token is still valid. Okay, so this is all there is to it. So for example, when you're like using application and wanna like a post or react to it, when you send the request to the backend, we send it just with the token and take and verify from that token that you are logged in and get all the information using the authentication middleware. Okay, so this is all to it. I'm gonna explain it and do a basic example right now. So let's go to the backend and make sure that the backend is running. Okay, and then we're gonna go back to the routes and go to the user. Let's add another one, and let's call it, for example, auth. Just set it, and then we have a function. Let's call it auth, so you can understand this if you've never done it. Let me just add another function, auth, right here, import it, go back to the user and let's create it. So like export dot auth, and it's equal request response. I'm right here simply gonna respond with a JSON that says welcome from auth. Okay, if we go back to Postman and let's go and create a request. So add a request, and this is gonna be test auth. Okay, and let's go and make it post as it is, and then HTTP, then it's gonna be to auth. Okay, and now it's try and send with the response will come from auth. Okay, so now let's create middleware and see what's gonna happen. Okay, going back to the backend folder, we're gonna create a new folder. Let's call it middlewares. All right, so we're gonna create a new file. It's gonna be called auth.js. And right here we're gonna get the GWT. I'm gonna get it from the JSON web token, and then we're gonna create our function. So export, let's call it user or auth user, for example. Auth user, and right here it's going to be an async function that's going to take the request, the response, and also next. And simply what next is when we verify everything, then to make sure that we give the pass to run the next code, we pass next. Okay, if we didn't pass next, the code doesn't run. Okay, and we're gonna pass it when the verification is true and the user is logged in. This is simply what it is. I'm gonna have a try catch, and in the catch simply we're gonna do what we always do: return the response to status to be 500, which is the internal server error, and then JSON. All right, so we're gonna send a message. The message is gonna be error dot message, simply like this. So let me try and make it as easy as possible for you. Okay, as we said before, when we go back to Postman, now we're gonna send like a request to this route. Okay, as I said, we're gonna verify that we are existing, and the way that we're gonna do it in the request, when we send something to this route, in the headers we're gonna send a property right here. It's gonna be called authorization. And right here we're gonna pass the token, and the token that we're gonna pass is the token stored in the Redux store, which is we get after login. So this one is gonna be passed. So let me just copy it, go back right here, and it's gonna be put right here. Okay, and this is we're gonna use to verify ourselves from this. So if we wanna verify it, we know that we're sending it in the headers and the authorization. So now we're gonna get it then and verify it. So simply now go back, and this is all I'm trying to do. We're gonna have a temporary variable. All it does is gonna go to the request, then the headers, okay, and then we're gonna look for the authorization. Okay, so now we got it, but I want to add a layer of security to this, and the way to do it, there is a way, is to add the bearer token. Okay, you add bearer like this, and this adds a layer of security to your, when you send it, it's a bit more encrypted and secured. Okay, so now when we send this, we want to make sure that we want to verify, we can't verify the whole string, because bearer is not part of the token. We want to take only from this E and the rest of the token, and not take this bearer and this space. So we're gonna split or slice the string from just this place to the rest, which is gonna be from 7. Okay, so this character is 7, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is the 7th. So let me just, I hope this is clear. So this is just was a temporary, and to get the token exactly, so we're just simply gonna go to the temp and then slice from 7 to the rest, and the rest is gonna be just the temp.length. Okay, like this. So now we have the token. If there is no token, this is not existing. Okay, that means there is no token, so this person is not authorized. So we're just gonna return a response.status, which is gonna be 400, and then we're gonna send a JSON that's gonna say, the message is simply gonna say invalid authentication, okay, like this. So this is the first thing. Now if we want to take this token and verify it and make sure that it's right and it's not wrong, so we're going to use the gwt.verify, okay, and then we're going to take the token. So now we're going to decode it and we're going to pass process.env. We've used this before, and we're going to take the what we have in the env, what's called token secret. So I want to take that, go back right here, and then paste it, and then we're going to get the error and then the user. So the user is what we have in the token, okay? So the token is simply when you decode it, this is verified, it's gonna return a user. So when I get the first of all, let's see if we have an error, we wanna catch it. So we're just gonna, if we have an error, we're gonna return res. So the same way that we have right here. So if there is an error, okay, we're gonna do the same thing like this. Else, when there is no error, we're simply gonna go to the request and then add an object to it, which is going to be the user, okay, and then what's going to be the value of it is going to be the user, and the user is simply going to be the what we get right here, the user from this one, from the gwt, okay, that we pass the tokens, okay, and then we simply gonna go next like this. So we simply extracted the token or the user from the token, and we're going to get the user ID from it, and then we're going to add it in this user objects, and then we're going to allow the code to continue. So if you don't know exactly how this works, it's simply I'm trying my best to make sure everything is understandable. So the token, this is the token, we passed it and all. After decoding it, if we decode it in the website, this is what you're gonna get, which is gonna get the ID of the user, which is the same one that we have in the database, okay, this is the same one, and that's the one we use to identify who is sending the request, so we know what we change in the database, okay. So simply when we send like a request, we don't need like to specify the ID of the user, we just send the token or the authentication middleware, and then we're gonna take that from it and go request.user.id, which is this we have right now, which is ID called, and now we're going to use it to do whatever we want. So simply now go back to the route, and before the auth function or any route you have, you can add the authentication middleware. So any operation you want to make sure that the user is logged in and undefined, sorry, you need to add this, which is going to be the auth user like this. So if we go back right now and try to access this, let me go back right here, and without, let me go to test, and then without the authorization, let me send, and we get cannot read properties of undefined medium slice. Okay, let me see. So okay, this is understandable because sometimes the authorization doesn't exist like this one. Now we didn't send it, so we're just gonna go right here, we're gonna go, if we have the TMP, that's just gonna be the value, else is gonna be nothing, okay, so like this. So that means there is no token, so we don't break no code, okay. So let's go back right here and send again, and as you see, invalid authentication because we didn't send anything. Now let's add the authorization and send, and as you see, everything is gonna go well, and we're gonna get welcome from auth. Okay, so also if we go back right here and change something in the token like this and we send, we're gonna get invalid authentication. Now let's get it back to what it was and send. Everything is all right. So as I said, if you want to get the user ID, let me open the console and let me show you. So in the function or any function that we work on, if in the controllers, we can just simply here from the request and console log the request dot user, okay, and we're gonna get that if the user, we send the auth middleware, we're gonna access this. So now let me just go right here and send. Everything is all right, and you go back to the console, and you'll find this is the object where you have the ID right here. So if you want the ID, then we can just access it by using the request.user. So this is all what you need to know about the authentication middleware. It's pretty cool, and as you see, I try my best. I know sometimes the episode be a bit long, but I try my best to explain things, and I don't know if I'm doing a good job or not, so just tell me. And if I didn't explain it, you can always contact me. Don't be shy or anything, even if you see just a part of video somewhere, I'm always glad to help. So I feel like this is all right. Now let's go back right here, remove that. So now we have it, so we just can remove it, and also go to the controller and remove this. Okay, so now whenever we're gonna need it, we just can call it and do the same operations. Okay, so see you next.